All right, welcome back to Raff's Brain, a show about things that are interesting to me. This is your host, Rob Raffety, and I'm very delighted to be here. Riffin with Raff, that's the segment that this particular episode will be on. It's probably my third or fourth interview. We're really getting deep now. I'm here at Northside Social on a beautiful Friday morning with my old buddy, Robert Ochsendorf. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Good morning, Raff. Thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me.
Robert is the only way I've ever known you, I think, right?
Yeah, some people call me Rob now.
True. Rob.
Yeah.
Listen, we go way back, but not like youth. Kind of like post-teen. What do you call that? It's not adolescence.
These were the college years.
College years.
It was the summer of '97.
Wow. Because I was getting ready to go to law school.
Yes.
And you were a junior maybe at Colgate.
I was a sophomore in college. We both accepted a job in my hometown of Elkins, West Virginia.
Elkins is the town, dude. It was tough for me to take a job in a city that is such a step up from where I'm from, and in our hierarchy of towns, it's Weston, they're the lowest, right? Buchanan, we're okay. We're in the middle. Elkins is like high rollers. Elkins is a superior. I have to acknowledge it. They beat us in soccer. We got in fights, rumbles, everything. The Tigers / what do they call them? The Timberwolves for a couple years?
Yes.
They're Tigers again, though, now.
Tigers, we say.
So you're a couple years younger, but we met up at Outward Bound. Outward
Bound is a federal program to help first-generation college students go to college. So Rob and I worked on the residential part of this, where kids come to Davis and Elkins College to experience life on a college campus, and we were helping them as their mentors and so forth.
They were so fortunate to have us.
I mean, they learned a lot.
We had a great time. We hit it off. You lived right down the street. And the first thing that fascinated me about you was you're a Colgate. I'm like, damn, I'm going to Syracuse. That's right up the street. Like, that was before I'd gone to college. I was getting ready to start, I think, I don't even remember. Yeah, this was before I went to law school.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect, but I was like, you're 45-minute drive away. We should stay in touch. So the good news was we hit it off. We spent, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It was a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
In residence. So that was fun, like RAs, that sort of life.
Yep.
Mentoring these extraordinary kids, some of whom I think have gone on to do cool things.
Shout out to Smitty. And Brandon.
Wow.
Right? I mean, come on.
You're dialing it back. What about Mickey?
Oh, yes. Come on.
These are the former counselors, the fellow counselors that we befriended there. We had a good summer. I think there was a Rusted Root trip. There was a lot of good times. Anyway, we won't go there.
You picked up the fiddle that summer, Raff.
Yeah. Dude, we're really going down the rabbit hole here. I decided that I wanted to... while I was going to focus on law school,
yes,
I needed a distraction, something else to invest my time in, so as not to be too just one-dimensional.
Yes.
And I think it was the Augusta Heritage Festival, which is hosted at D&E every year. Look that up, people. I'll drop a link in the show notes. It brings like world-class folk art performers for almost like 4 months or they're like almost the whole summer in Elkins. It's crazy. Yeah. And I was like, I want to play. I just kind of spontaneously said, I'm going to get the fiddle and play it. I got to use the fiddle, and I started learning. I haven't picked up a fiddle in a while, but now I'm motivated. I'm trying to do the banjo again. I'm trying to like get back into that because I have those instincts. But anyway, we met there, had a good time, and we were able to stay in touch because you were at Colgate.
Yep.
And that was fun because it kind of brought me into a whole other network of friends.
Yes.
That ultimately led to us in a weird way that life just is unpredictable. I graduated before you, or maybe, I don't even remember how this all worked actually, but I came to D.C.
Yeah.
We probably had a year or so where there was a pocket where you're doing other things, I'm doing
still
other
in
things.
college.
And then we somehow kind of reunited back in this area, along with a couple other college friends, and ultimately, this is where it got very interesting. We became roommates, housemates in particular, right down the street from this very seat, the Q Lounge.
The corner of Quincy and Washington Boulevard.
This is like an iconic location. They should probably make it a national landmark.
It was a 4-bedroom house on the corner, and it was all of us in our early 20s, and we had a great time.
I was only there for a year because I was in a unique moment in my life. There was a lot going on personally, professionally, but Yeah, those are some good times. The Quincy Lounge. We even put stickers on the door.
It was known as the Quincy Lounge.
It was known as the Quincy Lounge. I want to say 1301 Quincy Street. I don't know if that's right. 1203. It's, the memories.
Yeah.
But it was right across from the high school. And yeah, man, good times. Jurgen, I think, was our. Does that name ring a bell?
Jurgen was our landlord.
He was pretty cool, man. He's like, it's your house. Do what you want to do. You know.
I shudder to think what the rent prices were in around 01, 02, but it was probably a lot different than it is today.
It still seems high when you're looking back. But yeah, at the time it was very affordable, probably relative to today.
Yes.
And we even had a fifth housemate for a brief time. We crammed him in the basement or on a couch or something. Sunshine. Yes. Let's go through real quick the roommates. So we were legit. We had our own rooms.
Yeah.
So it was Rob, two Robs, a gentleman named Brian Owens. He's on another level. This guy is ridiculous. Met him at Colgate as well, so he's fun.
Yeah.
He was going to GW to get an MBA.
MBA, yes.
You were getting your PhD there too, right?
At GW, that's correct.
And I was working down the street at George Mason in Arlington campus. Zach,
who's also getting his MBA.
That's right. It was fascinating. And then Jamie. Jamie was working for like sports something.
He does sports marketing.
Sports marketing.
Yes.
So it was a pretty wild time. Jamie ultimately took my spot over. I had to get out. I couldn't handle the Quincy Lounge. It was too much. I remember being I have to say, I resent a little bit about my past. I regret that I was somewhat confused about how to navigate a group home setting. I just couldn't process how to. And I was like on a fixed income, you know. How do I process my expenses? I remember you guys gave me a little cabinet. I was like, can I just have my own food in here? Because you guys would go, I'm going to go group shopping. We're just going to get a bunch of stuff. And then we'll all just split the bill. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know how I feel about that. I have particular tastes. I like soup and cereal. And you're like, don't you eat other things? Like, no, I don't have any money. And you guys made fun of me. And I think you know, Owens would like rip on me a lot for that. But yeah, you guys accommodated that weird behavior that I had.
Do you remember, Raff? We threw a big fundraising party for a nonprofit called Hoop Dreams.
Why did we? Okay, hang on a second. I remember that very specifically. It was your fundraiser.
Yes.
And it was on a summer weekend, probably like in a July time frame. Is that right? June, July.
Yep. And we advertised. We handed out flyers.
This was a big deal. It was like $5 or $10
charge.
A head.
Yes.
And
there was a band.
We had it. Well, I was in the band.
Yes, it was your band.
I hesitate to call it a band. Yeah! Even though we're in the suburban Arlington, we're getting this great audio effect.
Yeah.
Just like Buchanan. I think it's the same guy. He's just following me around.
Yeah, true.
Dude, the Q Lounge. Q2 was the name of the band. I created the band.
Q2.
This is the time when I was going through a lot of things. I was 26 or so.
Yeah.
And what's my identity? I want to play more music. There were weekends you guys would go out and I'd be like just staying in the basement and jamming. And doing all sorts of feedback and loop. It was like crazy. You'd come back and I'd still be down there like in my element.
Does that band still get together?
No, we're done.
That was a one shot.
It was a one night stand. I don't remember who were the guys. Someone reached out to me and someone actually had a memory the other day about this. A guy named Chris, who he sang some songs for us at the party. I forgot all about that, but
so with this party, Raff, we raised well over $1,000, which was a lot of money
back then. It was a big deal.
And the founder and president of Hoop Dreams came to the party. And she was dancing with everybody and having a great time. And we had Hoop Dreams swag.
Yes. It was a very, very legit and highly dangerous legal exposure. I mean, I was terrified. Because I'm at this point, I remember even, like, let me just back it up 1 second. I had this sense that as a kid, I was, because of my conservative upbringing, law enforcement, obey the rules, that I'm just anxious whenever I step outside and do things that are a little bit outside the box.
Yeah.
I remember when I moved to the Quincy Lounge, you helped me get my mattress there from my apartment.
Yes.
And I was like, well, maybe we should get a U-Haul, be safe. You're like, no, man, we can throw this on the top of your car. I was terrified. We were like just rolling like rope around it, and there was an incline, and I thought for sure, this mattress is going to fall off my car. It's going to kill somebody. I'm going to go to jail. I need to relax, man. I need to relax.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just bootstrapped it and got there. It was amazing. Anyway, but this party, I was still in a bit of a freak out mode because then I started seeing high schoolers coming over from the high school right across the street. This party was happening.
Yeah.
It was packed to the gills.
Hundreds of people.
And it was like, if you come in, go to the kitchen, there's, beer tubs or maybe a keg. I don't even remember. It was a scene. It was self-serve. It's like, we don't have liquor license. We're not, carding people particularly.
The law enforcement did not show up.
They did not?
They did,
I don't remember.
think they showed up. No.
I thought cops are going to bust us. I don't want to be the guy.
Yeah.
But I live here, so I have to be responsible.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. It was it was one of many raucous gatherings that we hosted.
Those
there.
were good times, Raff. I really enjoyed sharing that roommate experience with you in that time of our life, right?
I'll never regret that. That was a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
Great memories. Now, I want to delve a little bit more into your personal life.
Okay.
And say that something that really resonated with me when we met, and it really excited me, was that you're one of 6 kids.
There are 6 in my family. That's right. I am the 4th. Correct.
And what blew my mind about the more I got to meet your parents and your siblings is like, you're all quite accomplished and successful, especially considering you're sort of products of public school in rural West Virginia.
Yeah.
But we're talking like epic career leaders. I mean, you're doing great things. One of your brothers won the Genius Award. I mean, it's just like off the charts. And they're all accomplished in different ways.
Yeah.
Social work, law, like someone worked at the senior official at the labor department. It's just stuff, man. It's very impressive. So I was always like, I want to like burrow into this family. There was a couple years when I was definitely trying to become the 7th Ochsendorf. Like, could they adopt me? Just like, let me be part of this tribe, dude.
You are an honorary member, Raff. Everybody loves you.
I kind of did weasel my way in because
Yes.
I went to one of your parties, or your house. Your family had like a house. You still have it up in the Lake George, right?
Yeah.
I met
you
your
also at my
grandparents
college
and stuff.
graduation?
I went to your college graduation. Oh
Yes.
my God, Bill
Yes.
Cosby.
Yes.
Bill Cosby.
Bill
was the
Cosby
speaker.
was the speaker.
He was back then. It was a great thing, and he actually gave. I remember this. Look. We all know there's this thing. We're not gonna try to resuscitate his situation, but I do want to say at the time it was an impressive remark. He said, "Welcome to Colgate," or something like that, right? It's like
also. There were 700 and some odd graduates of the class of '99 at Colgate, and he
hugged and shook their hands to everybody.
Hugged every single graduate.
I remember watching that scene unfold, and Owens, in particular, like gave him the most full embrace and hug.
Yeah.
So it was a different time, clearly, but it was pretty impressive. And I went to your graduation ceremony. I went to the night before. You guys like carrying torches around and like drunk people running around with torches.
Sticks on fire.
It was nuts. They still do that? They must not do that.
They still do that, yes, with a lot more precautions, I think. Yeah. I haven't been back in a while.
You haven't been back to your alma mater in a while. I haven't been back I got to get back to upstate. I loved upstate New York. It was very nice up there.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be a member of the Ochsendorf family. I've kind of we haven't kept in touch as well as I should, and we're going to get better at that.
Yeah.
But I do follow you guys' social media and stuff. That's kind of fun to see what people are doing with their lives, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're doing well. Oh man, your mom was always a great lady. Just very supportive. I spent about a week the following summer at your house.
Taking a banjo class.
Yes,
or
fiddle
class.
I came back to Augusta. So this is after the summer after. Your mom was like, "Hey, just crash here on the couch," and it was like a 10-minute walk to Davis and Elkins, and it was a party all week. And I was like, I don't know. Hopefully, I was a good guest. She didn't kick me out.
She still asks about you, Raff, and you were a fine guest.
But when I met you, and obviously my life did not pan out this way, I was like, I want to have 6 kids. I want to like raise my kids the way these people were raised. Yeah. You were front page news in your town because your parents didn't have television, or maybe they restricted it. Let me just take the myth to extreme.
For many years, we were without a television. This is true.
You played chess.
We would play a lot of board games. We would read a lot of books. I mean, there was a general curiosity in the house that was encouraged, and having a television definitely helped. We were also outside a lot, playing, doing things with our hands, tinkering.
Dude, these guys were sports fiends. And we have tapes. This is hilarious. Before we knew it, before we knew each other, I was on the Buchanan soccer team. And the time I was there, we weren't great. We did win the state championships after I graduated. There's probably some correlation there. But I'm not a super competitive guy. But when we went to Elkins, dude, it was always a rumble. And I think someone had the VHS tape of it was like a bench clearing brawl.
Yeah, we are not proud of those moments, but yeah, there was.
But you were playing. I just there you are. I was on the bench. I wasn't playing. I was the backup goalie, which means you don't really do anything. You just sit, and everyone clears the bench to go get in this like street fight. And they were like, "What are you doing, Raff?" And I was like, "I'm just standing there." I'm like, "I'm not getting in a fight." And there was another time. I'll say, this is my nature. I'm a lover, not a fighter. You, me, Owens, we had some moments rolling in the city, whatever. I'm not proud of some of these things. I should probably get my brother's back more, but I'm also not one to
something to be said for being a lover, not a fighter, Raff. That is, I think embrace that.
Yes. So where are we going to land this? I don't know. It's been a year since we've chatted. That's terrifying. So we're talking here a little bit before the show, and it's like, how do you make effort to stay in better touch with your friends?
I know. It gets hard now because of social media. You can follow and sort of feel like you're keeping up, but there's nothing to replace the, face-to-face over a cup of coffee or a meal. I think we need to try to make it a point to do
you go back to your high school reunions at all, or do they even have them?
We are coming up on 30 year next year.
Yeah.
And I intend to go. Yeah.
As the class president of the class of 93, I had to organize one. Every 5 years we've had one, man. But I like doing it, and it does draw a certain amount. But I think social media is, some people are like, there's no surprise.
Yeah.
It's not like I go back and see somebody and go, wow, I never imagined what they would have become with their, what people are doing. They have kids. If someone, they divorce, whatever. So it's sort of.
You were class president?
Yeah.
I was class president. Class of 95, Elkins High.
Listen, that is a great place to end this conversation. Obviously, we have a lot in common, and we're going to end with that because the two El Presidentes.
Yep.
I'm glad we weren't the same year, though, because it would have been a much harder thing to befriend you.
I know. We were not rivals like that. That's true.
That's good.
Yeah.
So thanks, man. It's been nice catching up with you. Let's do this again. You're an awesome dude. I'm really grateful that we met and have stayed in touch. And we're going to get together. We had to pledge publicly, although there's very little to hold us to this.
I know.
No, it's not like there's a mass audience that's going to demand, where is Ochsendorf? You said you were going to interview him in 2 months. Listen, he'll be a repeat guest, right? Will you pledge to our audience, to the 5 or 10 listeners?
Raff, I'm a huge fan of the pod. Love to come back anytime. We could talk Steelers.
Oh yeah.
We could talk careers. What do we want?
I forgot to even talk about the thing.
Yeah.
I'm almost hesitant because I don't want to. I do want to say this. Let's just say one more thing I want to talk about.
Let's do it.
You sent me a video.
Yes.
And it was without context. You have children now. They're growing up.
Teenage boys.
Teenage boys. You were just back in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey, let's talk about this." And it looks like I could not even understand what's happening. It's like a 10-second clip, which it looks like a PVC pipe, and it's shooting a projectile. Can you give us some? What's going on?
So
here, man?
Our listeners may know that some people call it a spud gun or a potato gun. This is a homemade propulsion device made out of PVC pipe. You can get all of this equipment at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. PVC pipes. You can also find the instructions on how to do this on any YouTube channel, I'm sure. Potato gun. It's a potato gun. You use hairspray as the propellant.
Yes.
And a little charcoal grill spark starter. And that's what ignites the hairspray. And then the potato launches out of the barrel. And so I was back in West Virginia last weekend with my younger son and one of his buddies. And we were, launching potatoes. It is endless fun because potatoes will launch hundreds of yards and just disappear into the sky. It is very fun.
You have no idea how much joy this brings to me, knowing that those type of activities are still happening in this country.
Yeah.
It's
engineering. It's a little bit of STEM.
You're gonna make it look good here.
Yes. I mean, this is maker. People talk about maker spaces. We were making a device to launch potatoes.
Yes.
And we could play with the barrel length and the size of the chamber and the size of the potato. All these different things will affect. Also, different kinds of propellants you could use. This is what we were working
Experiential learning that also prepares you for the zombie apocalypse or the coming riots or whatnot we're going to have here. Let's not go there. Yeah. But anyway, it's good to have kids who are handy with spud guns.
It was fun. I don't recommend this in populated areas, but if you're in like a remote part, play around, build yourself a potato gun.
And do you use those potatoes? Are they reusable, or like once you shoot one, it's pretty much done?
Well, once you launch it, it's pretty much gone. Good luck finding it. It's hundreds of yards away from you. It'll probably just get eaten by a deer or some other wildlife.
Well, this is great stuff. Thanks for taking that extra time.
We did not want to miss.
We didn't want to miss that moment. Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna get together again. We'll have another conversation. Maybe the podcast will be the catalyst to me reconnecting with all these people that I chat with. It's a helpful forcing mechanism.
Raff,
accountability.
Let's grow the audience.
That's right.
We'll
share this with all our roommates, right?
You already have thousands of listeners.
Yes,
but let's really amp it up now. So pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. See you next time.
All right. Bye.